I mean, we're in the midst of a massive economic experiment being sort of pushed ahead by the US, and it is a question of pure economics. People will price ships and build ships where it makes economic sense to do so, keeping everything in mind, be it tariffs, new regulations, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So to give you a sense, if you look at the fleet on the water today, and again, I'm talking about my sector, container ships, roughly 1 in 3 ships are built in China. But if you look at the order book, which at the moment runs out to roughly 2029, so if you wanted to order a ship today, the earliest it would deliver is 2029. 70% is built in China, and it's not easy for the industry to sort of pivot geographically on a dime.
Bigger and better, though. I mean, look in the oil sector and the VLCCs, the size of these ships, the size of the Maersk ships. When I've been down in Rotterdam, honestly, Tom, it's mind-blowing being on one of these things as well. They're just getting bigger and bigger, yeah?
Absolutely. I mean, it just a sort of a visual prop. If you were to stand one of these ships up on its stern, it would make the Eiffel Tower and the Empire State Building look fairly modest. So you're right, they are vast pieces of kit. However, bigger is not always better, I would say. I mean, the really big ships that can carry roughly 24,000 containers, which is, I mean, a staggering number, tend to be limited to the big east-west arterial trades. So, China to the US, for example, or China to Europe. But they're not so good if you throw a curveball at the industry at being redeployed elsewhere. So there's also room for mid-sized and smaller container ships, which is actually where my company is focused.
Yeah, MSC Arena, 400 meters long, extraordinary. Tom, it's just crazy, MSC Loretta, same size as well, and they came online, 2 years ago. Tom, the truth of the matter is, though, these crises, and we talk about them as bad things, they're actually, dare I say, good news in many ways for the shipping industry, because all right, there's a cost of increase and change of routes and what have you. But the fact of the matter is, the price increases you can get from global crises, dare I say geopolitical crises, I should say, you do benefit from it, don't you? I mean, it's not necessarily crisis turns up in Hormuz or the Red Sea or wherever it may be, that's a bad thing. It's actually, dare I say, a good thing for your industry, isn't it?
I'd take a slightly tempered view, but essentially you're right, Steve. Yes. I mean, as soon as you get disruption of any form, be it, pandemic or a ship getting jammed in Suez or disruption to Red Sea transits, things become less efficient. And if things become less efficient, as long as consumer demand holds up, you need more ships to carry the same number of containers. So in that sense, I agree with you 100%. Now, at the same time, clearly, particularly when it comes to the Red Sea and the Straits of Hormuz, what's at the forefront of all of our minds is the safety of our people, of our seafarers aboard our ships. So it's not an unqualified good. Economic, great, but in terms of managing risk and keeping people safe, obviously it becomes more challenging.
Yeah, and just, I guess, the key point, you're in Athens, but of course, most of these have maritime insurance via London and elsewhere. My insurance cost has gone up massively because of your industry, I would suggest. They pass on the cost for autos, homes, everything, you name it, because their costs go up because of what's going on in the global situation. Have your insurance costs just gone through the roof?
They have in certain areas. So, for example, insurance costs in the Red Sea, which is frankly a little bit academic because we don't have any ships transiting the Red Sea. But if we were to transit, insurance costs have gone up by, I think, roughly 3x. So it's a 3 times multiple. And the insurance costs for the Straits of Hormuz are all over the place at the moment. So they spiked at around about 2 to 3x in mid-June. Then they came back down to normal, and now they're climbing again. So you're right. I mean, that's a very good barometer of risk. And ultimately, I'm afraid these things always do flow through to the ultimate consumer. So to you in that case.